Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
It works. Technology.
It works. I was like, I've been sitting by my phone counting down the seconds. I was like, I can't be late.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, of
So
course.
you got to see the finale.
I did. I
What'd
got
you
to
think?
watch it live. It's always so bizarre watching yourself on anything, but like I so rarely get to sit down and actually watch a live viewing of something I've done, especially like with all the castmates were like FaceTiming and everything. It's so much fun. I mean, like every part of this show has been such a joy, from like filming in New York. I've fallen in love with the characters, the wardrobe, all of it is just like a blast. And it's just so fun to see it all come to life. So it was a good time.
And you had your big number.
I had my big number, and I'm always like waiting to see how they're going to edit it down, because we shot for that song, we shot the whole song. So I was like really curious as to where they were going to like cut it and put it together. And yeah. And then like on top of everything, our show has musical numbers. So it's a great time.
The cherry on top. So what did you think of how they cut it together? Were you happy with it? Was there something?
I'm so happy with it. Like Maggie, who directed the finale, also directed the pilot, and like I trust her with my life, so I knew I'd like it.
Well, the pipes, they were working overtime. They
Oh,
sound
good.
really good.
Thank you,
They
girl.
sound really good. It's funny that you said you have to sing on this show and act and do the whole thing. Did you think that you would have to flex so many muscles when you signed up for this role?
I was hoping I'd get to flex those muscles. I was like, because usually on shows, I'm like, P.S. I can sing. P.S. like I do X, Y, and Z. But for this, I knew that they would allow me to do a lot of different things, because I guess, so like Katy Keene was created in the 40s, and in the comics, she kind of did everything. She was like, she geared toward fashion, but she sang and she acted and she danced. Mm-hmm. So like in the back of my head, I was always hoping that they'd give me free reign to play, and I got to play on this show a lot.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, well, first of all, how is self-isolation, how's quarantine going for you?
It's good. You know, I take it day by day. I think we're all at the point where we're like, are we okay? I don't know. I think I'm good. I think I'm not losing it. I mean, I'm here with my dog, and like,
wait. There's your
Elvis. Yeah, you know what? I can't complain. I'm just, along with everyone, baking banana bread and like doing every hobby under the sun. But how about you?
Same. I love how you were like, it's pause. Good. I think it's like, it is a day by day situation. I have not gone on the baking binge that like you've gone. You've documented this, by the way, right?
Yeah, it was really bad. Really bad. Are you in LA?
I am.
Okay,
yeah. So what do we have? Like,
we're in it for the long haul.
Yeah. I am not mentally or spiritually prepared.
Me either.
I might not even be physically prepared.
Yeah, I'm internally crying. I just laugh to keep from crying. So
yeah, that's exactly it. Also, how are your roots doing? Because I have a situation going on.
So they're about to get bad again. My hair girl, she'll send me like care packages to do at home, but I can't reach the back of my head. So my roots in the back of my head are god awful, but up front we're okay. Your hair looks great.
Oh, thank you. I've taken to the side part. It's much
Work
less
with
obvious
what you got.
that way.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. And I think shadow roots, that's a thing now. So we're just gonna
it's
make
working
that
for you.
We're just gonna make that a trend. Thank you. But this show actually feels kind of perfect for the time, because as much as it is about the messiness and the tough times you go through in your early adulthood, there is this effervescence, I want to say. Like whenever I watched an episode, the word that kept coming to mind was frothy, and I don't know why.
I love it. I love that. Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. It's like this show knows exactly what it is, and it's like in its own lane, and it's like a heightened fairy tale version of the reality that we live in. And so, you know, the show is about dreamers, and it's about finding out who you are and chasing after your biggest passions in life. But it's so interesting that the show came out during this time because I think it will resonate with people a little bit differently maybe. But it definitely like is a bright little light. Like it's so different from any other show that I've ever been a part of. Just tonally, it's just, yeah, like I said, it knows exactly what it is. And it's just been like, was so fun to make. I mean, truly like a dream role.
And the way that it has been inclusive with the characters and the storytelling, I'm very impressed by, because you have Jorge / Ginger, who I think touches on so many themes that we talk about right now when it comes to representation of the LGBT community.
Right.
And then you have Ashley, who is also hustling. And I just think the way that these stories come together is also really special.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, thank you. And our writers are, you know, I give them all the credit for that. But going back to being inclusive, yeah, like we, you know, when I was growing up, there wasn't a show with a gay male lead who dresses in drag. Like, and so the fact that the show is about being your most authentic self. And so I'm glad that the CW and our writers and our producers have, allowed these characters to shine, you know, because this is the world that we live in. And one day, hopefully, we won't have to like even have conversations about it being normal or not normal. But for right now, like, there are people that need to see those characters because it makes them feel not as alone. And, you know, Johnny took on that role he's such a powerhouse. And, I mean, truly, like, just such a star. And he's really handled that role with a lot of grace. So, yeah.
A lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
There, by the end of this episode, Katy is dealing with a couple different men in her life. Let's just say
she's busy.
That. Yeah,
she's really busy.
She's really busy. Okay, let's talk about the love interest men first. Okay. I was wondering when the prince would make his comeback. I was wondering where he went.
He's back.
He is back.
He's back.
Is KO.
Yeah,
so my question is, like,
back.
do you think KO is endgame for Katy?
I do. I always struggle because I love all of them so much, and I'm just so thrilled that Katy is testing out the waters, you know. But but then I watch Katy and KO, and there's just something about it that's just feels right. And he's such a good guy, and I think that, you know, if this show continues, I think that they'll be endgame. You know, they're high school sweethearts. They got to spread their wings a little bit, like fulfill their dreams, date other people. But yeah, I think that they're in it for the long haul.
I think their spoiler for anybody who hasn't seen. I mean, if you're watching this, hopefully you've seen the whole season.
You've seen it, yeah.
But their breakup was one of the saddest, but also one of the sweetest I've ever seen. I think on TV.
Yeah, it was like in the street. Yeah, it was like right out of a rom-com.
Yeah.
Great.
Absolutely.
And then right before we filmed that scene, there was like a huge storm. So I'm glad we got the scene. So, because it started pouring immediately after.
And then there is Guy, who she exacts her delicious revenge on.
Yes.
I want to say. And it really touches on, I mean, this has been touched on, I think, over the last 2 episodes, but women not getting the credit that they're due.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we've definitely, you know what's going on in the world right now with women and them stepping up and taking their power back. And so we really wanted to kind of drive that home. And I think that that scene was so hard when I'm talking to Guy out and I'm inviting him into the fashion show. It was tricky as an actor because I didn't want it to come across bitchy, but I wanted it to come across stern, but not as a pushover. But it was hard, like, not being an asshole to him. So it was tricky. Like, that was one of the harder scenes I've had to play. But she does it in the most Katy way possible. She's like, no, I'm taking my power back. I'm letting these women shine, but also, like, screw you and have a good day. She knows how to, like, do things in the right way. Like, I wish I could have her optimism for sure.
Have you ever been put in that position where you've had to kind of reclaim your power, reclaim some of the credit that's due to you?
I mean, I think we're constantly doing that. I think we're, like, especially as women, we want we want to always feel that way. I mean, luckily I haven't been like screwed over badly like Katy has, or like a lot of women we hear about in the press. But if that day comes, I'm ready to get my power back for sure.
You got some practice.
I'm ready. Oh yeah.
Let's talk about also the big cliffhanger.
Yes.
Cary Elwes steps in. I love this like habit too in the Archieverse of incorporating people like maybe who we saw growing up in movies,
Yeah.
and having them like reintroduced
my
or
God.
introduced to a whole new audience. So it's like
he's a legend. He's
Yeah.
iconic. Like when we found out he got cast, everyone in the crew was just over the moon. And what a nice man. Oh my God, he's so sweet. I mean, of course, we only had that little scene only had this scene at the end of the episode with him, but so sweet. And yeah, I mean, we kind of left you guys hanging, but I love that Katy just jumps in immediately and was like, yeah, yo, you're my dad. She doesn't even wait a beat. She just jumps right in.
So do you think they share a genetic connection?
I mean, I hope so. I mean, I have a feeling like, if we do a season 2, they'll bring in a few potential Katy daddies, whatever. I was trying to say like baby dad, Katy daddies.
Katy daddies.
Katy daddies.
Yeah.
They'll bring in a few people and we'll see, but I would hope it would be him.
You guys could have a whole like Mamma Mia episode.
100%. See, we're on the same page.
I could absolutely see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You mentioned that you don't know if you all are coming back for season 2. What's going on in the world is obviously disrupting a lot of just production in general. Right. So for you in this role and as an actor, how unsettling has it been? Do you think about that a lot?
Yeah, I mean, that's the hardest part of what I do, what actors do, is that the fate of things is never guaranteed. There's literally zero job security. And, I've been acting professionally for 15 years and I still it keeps me up at night. Just not knowing, because we care so much and I'm so emotionally invested in, every job I do, but especially Katy, we poured our heart and soul into it. And, of course you want everyone to love it and you want people to respond to it the way that you hope, but you can't predict anything. And especially with the world, they're here's a pandemic. So it's that's another added layer of uncertainty, but you just kind of have to take it day by day and know that things are working out how they're supposed to. And whether we come back or not, it doesn't take away from how incredible my time was doing the show and creating the show. So, but yeah, I'll always care. I'll always be scared. I'll always there will always be tears, but it just means I still love what I do and I still am doing the right thing,
Now, at this time, would you already know, or has even knowing whether you've been renewed or not been kind of up in the air because of what's happening in the world?
I mean, it's definitely they're waiting last minute to tell us, but I think on we're here. Don't forget about us. But I think definitely because our show films in New York, and that's a whole other thing where we don't even know if we could go back to film in New York. And then also productions in general are just shut down indefinitely. So that's probably a lot of it. But I think we'll know hopefully in the next couple of weeks. It would be nice to know what my life will look like. But like I said, everything's always constantly changing and you just kind of have to go with the flow.
And if Katy's actual dad, I think we'd all like to know.
We'd like to know. We need answers.
Yes. Yeah. I have to ask you about the fashion because it is just every shot, every outfit change is just such a feast for the eyes and how fun were the fittings? Do you have a favorite outfit?
I know. Jen Rogan, who is our costume designer. Hi, Jen, you're amazing. I mean, her and her team and her crew and those seamstresses worked around the clock to create these outfits, because a lot of what you see, a lot of the outfits were custom. So anytime we say in the show, Katy made that, legally they had to have made it because they can't use another designer because we're saying Katy Keene made it. So if that makes sense. So they were constantly having to produce all these amazing outfits. And then, I mean, the mood boards that Jen would make, like each character had its own distinct sense of style, but they all seamlessly work together. And just, I mean, you're right. Like the colors really do just like pop on screen, because you see us in person and you're like, wow, you're bright and sparkly. But it translates. It really works. And I mean, I love dressing up as Katy because she's so drastically different from me. Like,
I was going to ask, do you wear that many heart motifs?
I don't think I've ever worn a heart in my life until I stepped in to play Katy. She wore every shade of pink and every shade of red, and was just very extra all the time. Yeah, it was so much fun.
What's your favorite outfit that you got to wear in season 1?
I think it's the in the finale, and it's the big boa pink dress that I wear to the fashion show, and it's like in the shape of a heart, and it's just like I don't know what it's made of, but it's like a pink boa dress, and I'm running through Grand Central Station just strutting my stuff. But I don't know, it's hard to choose, but I think that's my favorite.
I love it. Tomorrow you're actually reuniting with your Pretty Little Liars cast.
Yeah.
When was the last time all of you were even in any kind of mutual space all together?
It's been like 2.5 years. I think it was when we wrapped. You know, we've talked here and there, and I don't think I've seen Marlene, the creator. I don't think I've seen any of them since then either, which is just mind-blowing. So this will be fun. It's just 2 hours of I don't know exactly what we're doing, but we'll get all caught up, and yeah, a lot's happened since then. So
a lot of life has happened.
A lot of life, babies, marriages, career choices. Yeah.
What are Arya and Ezra doing in quarantine?
I feel like they're quarantining no matter what. I always feel like they were sort of like an old married couple. So I feel like they like moved away to some cabin in the middle of the woods. And what are they doing? Probably baking better banana bread than I could ever bake. I feel like they have a lot of cats for some reason.
Maybe doing some like bird watching. Ian's really into that, right?
Ian's really into bird watching.
He's really into that.
Yes.
I know you've mentioned like maybe it could come back as a movie. If it weren't to come back as a movie, how else do you see Pretty Little Liars ever coming back?
Coming back?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'd so be down for a movie. Like, I feel like we need to wait a little bit. Like, it would have to be, you know, a couple more years, 10 years have passed. But they're definitely going to remake it in some. And, you know, I know that they did the spinoff, but I feel like they'll take the PLL idea and cast all new people with the same format, which I think is cool. I mean, I think in order to do like a reboot, more time could have passed, but I don't know. I mean, people are remaking things all the time, so it'll be interesting. Although I'm very protective and I want us to always be the only PLLs, but I know at some point, you know, someone else will take the idea and run with it.
I think you guys will always be the OG PLL.
We'll be the OGs.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And for Katy Keene, if you all do come back for season 2, where would you like the story to go? Where would you like Katy to go?
Oh my gosh. I mean, that's what's so great about the show is that, you know, where we leave off. I love when Katy works at Lacy's. I feel like that's just like the heart of the show. So I was really thrilled that you know, the prince swooped in to save the day. So I don't know. I mean, of course I want to see where her love life goes. But like I said, I want her to like play around, have some fun. And I hope in season 2 that we get to see like the grittier side of New York. You know, our show isn't gritty like that, but I feel like there's room for some scandal, you know? That would be fun.
I was going to say it is, even though it is in the Archieverse and there is a little bit of, you know, crossover from Riverdale,
right?
It really is not that dark
at all.
It does not go into that darkness at all. Would you like to see it? Like, would you like to see maybe, I don't know, a murder or like some kind of...
I kind of like have thought about that. I'm like, where would murder fit into our show? It would be so strange because of the tone of the show. But what is cool is that I think Riverdale is flash forwarding like 5 years in the future, which would put them on the same timeline as Katy Keene. Mm-hmm. So it would allow for more crossovers if the Archie verse wanted to do that.
I mean, we're already seeing a little bit. I mean, Hiram Lodge.
I mean, he just shows up just for a split second, just to, you know, stir things up a little.
A lot of pot stirring in in the Katy Keene universe. Before I let you go, I got to ask, what are you binging right now?
Okay, I just got into Outlander.
Oh, you're in for a journey.
I am only on season 1, and I just can't get enough of it. So that is my latest binge. I think I've never done Game of Thrones before, so that might be next.
Usually people do Game of Thrones first, I think, and then they go to Outlander. But you're okay.
I flipped it, yeah, but we'll see.
Did you watch Tiger King?
Oh yeah, first day it came out. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I cannot believe those are real people.
You think Carol did it?
150%. No doubt in my mind.
I'm very impressed. You know what I was impressed by from that show was everybody's production value. Like, I have a little corner in my living room, but like, I want like a green. Didn't it make you want a green screen?
I want to be in a Joe Exotic music video. So that's what I want to do. I mean, are we serious? Like, what? I love him. I love Joe Exotic.
His music, the music was very, very catchy.
You know what? I found out that wasn't his voice.
Oh, no, yeah.
I thought it was, and I was like, he's kind of good.
I know. There's like a whole band. You're like, there's what? There's like a backing track. It's crazy. But you can actually sing. So I know you've done music in the past. Is there more music for you in the future? Maybe Joe Exotic covers? Maybe
Joe Exotic covers. We'll see. I think for me, like what's on the bucket list is like theater or Broadway. Like I would want to go more that direction as opposed to like an album again. But I like doing music through acting, so we'll see. Yeah,
sounds good. And after all of this is over, I know it seems kind of hard to conceive since we just found out that we'll probably be in this situation for a couple more months. But what are you looking most forward to when the world kind of returns to normal?
Wow. I mean, literally everything at this point, even just like walking down the street to get a cup of coffee sounds nice. I mean, I love work. I'm obviously excited to like get back to work and to create more stuff, but I just miss humans. I miss human connection and just like everyday things, just walking around. I'm definitely hitting up a SoulCycle class immediately, and go visit my family. My family's in Tennessee, so I'll do that.
Yeah. Have you been able to do SoulCycle at home? You know,
no, but I think SoulCycle just like released a bike or something, but I don't have.
There's a whole app for it. You can.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you can sign up. I don't do SoulCycle, but I know of the app.
Got it. Okay, I need to check into this. Yeah.
Well, you have Elvis next to you, so I think.
Oh, where did he go? He's like over it. He's like left. Elvis left the building.
Well, I'm glad that he has that you have him to keep you company.
Yeah, thanks.
At the very least.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
What else do you want everybody to know about Katy Keene?
Well,
if they're just catching up, because now they have the chance to binge the whole season.
I know. So what's exciting? At least this is in the States. Katy Keene will be available to stream on HBO Max starting May 27th, which is there's another streaming service coming out, but it's HBO Max where like Pretty Little Liars is going there, Friends is going there, like a bunch of shows will be exclusive there, but Katy Keene will also be available to binge the whole season starting, I believe it's May 27th. So shortly everyone can watch it, and then of course on the CW app you can watch it for free.
And so much fun. And your reunion with the Pretty Little Liars cast tomorrow.
That'll be tomorrow.
For charity, right?
It's for charity, yeah. So it's for all the proceeds will go to Feeding America, and it starts at noon. I think you can still buy tickets. I should know this. I'm not sure. I think you can still sign up. It'll still be going on up until tomorrow when it starts. It's from 12 to 2.
Wonderful. Everybody, just it's on the internet.
It's on the internet.
We're all in front of our screens anyway.
Get all the answers. So. Yeah.
Yeah. Lucy, this was so much fun. It was really nice to catch up with you.
Girl, you too.
Stay safe, stay healthy.
And we'll do my best.
Enjoy your time with Elvis.
He's back. He brought me a coffee cup.
Oh my God. Can you hold that up to the camera? That is the cutest thing ever.
LB.
Let's see.
It's his Starbucks toy. Go get it. All right. Well, you stay safe. Thank you so much.